What is up, guys? Cash back again, and today I wanted to give you guys a bit of context about what's currently going on with Avengers and why this new trend of going months with no communication on what's going on with upcoming content is starting to become very concerning. And for anyone new to the game or the channel, I'll break down everything that points to there being a bigger problem behind the scenes and outline the undeniable decline we've seen in terms of marketing for new content. So let's jump into it. It's been 88 days since the Play Avengers social media announced that the Winter Soldier and the AIM Cloning Lab Omega level threat mission would be arriving in patch 2.7 later this year, and since that announcement, it took them about a month to announce a release date for the new villain sector that dropped in patch 2.6, which they announced just 5 days ahead of the release date, and waited until the day before to drop a short teaser trailer. Now at face value, nothing about this sounds concerning because it's only a small update that included one mission and new buffs for the heroes, so it's easy to dismiss the low effort marketing ahead of its release. But for context, Spider-Man and the Raid were announced on September 8th of last year, with a new graphic for the Raid dropping on the 9th. They were silent during the month of October, and then on November 4th they updated the roadmap to show that the patch was coming on November 30th. Then on November 10th, they released new promo art for Spider-Man's Hero event, and the next day we got our first trailer for Spider-Man. The day after, they announced that the War Table to discuss Spider-Man and the Raid would come on November 29th. On November 12th, they held a developer stream to show off Spider-Man's outfits and to talk about the Raid while dropping images and video clips on the official Twitter. They then released a new blog on Monday, November 15th, going into more detail about the Raid. Then the next day, they dropped a new motion comic story trailer for Spider-Man and revealed who was voicing him. And this is all ahead of the release of patch 2.2. Black Panther didn't release until August 17th of 2021, but in July they dropped concept art for Black Panther a full month ahead of his release, and that wasn't the first or the last time they showed artwork or his design, and they announced his voice actor on July 15th of 2021. But what if I told you they used to show in-game images of new heroes months before they were released? Back in March of 2021, not only did they release a new hero along with a story operation, but they dropped a reveal trailer for the next hero who wouldn't be arriving for the next 5 months. And in the trailer, you see not only glimpses of the new biome and levels that will be coming, but the full character model and design, months ahead of their release. And what if I told you that that wasn't the first time they did that? The team showed off their version of Hawkeye in a teaser trailer that dropped back in July of 2020, and he wasn't even the first DLC hero coming to the game. Add in the fact that they were simultaneously marketing the game's next-gen debut during Hawkeye's release, and it paints a completely different picture of what's possible in terms of marketing for this game, and why this new bare-bones approach is both underwhelming and a cause for concern about the team's seemingly dwindling marketing budget or their confidence in their ability to deliver content on schedule, as well as their confidence in the game's overall future. It's been 88 days since the next hero was announced, and aside from his story details being leaked, we know nothing about this version of the Winter Soldier, and the team has done nothing to market his release or build excitement or anticipation for the new hero, or the long-awaited Cloning Lab mission that's 2 years overdue. And with the end of the year rapidly approaching, it seems like a safe bet to assume we won't be seeing much marketing for this new content outside of a motion comic trailer, a war table, and possibly an interview with a voice actor. And to give you guys even more perspective and context, marketing in gaming can be very expensive and time consuming, and takes an immense amount of work and planning to be executed effectively. And while this game has always been overly criticized on all fronts, I think this major drop in branding shows that this new low-level marketing approach is simply the best the game can afford to do at this point. And again, that's concerning for the future because it suggests that resources are drying up behind the scenes. Calling Avengers a dead game is a running joke at this point, but as we continue to see player numbers dwindle and new games continue to hit the market with better branding execution, it's easy to see Avengers approaching the end of the line. I'm confident that we'll see an influx of players return once marketing begins for the next content update, but I'm concerned about the team's ability to maintain a player base going into the next year because of how long it takes to get new content developed and released, and because of their branding strategy of don't show or tell until the new content is as close to ready to launch as possible, because that approach is clearly having negative effects on the game's small but passionate community of players, and when you factor in players noticing a trend of recycling content with no hints of original content being in the pipeline, it gets hard to imagine the game having a long future because more and more players are moving on, with fewer looking to return when underwhelming updates are announced. Many players are hoping a new publisher will breathe new life into the game by supplying the team better funding and support, and there is a possibility of that being the case, and hopefully after this upcoming Thursday, we'll have some insight into what their plans are for the game's long-term future, and hopefully those plans include more money for marketing future content, because the game desperately needs to do better on that front. To go from releasing teaser trailers of new heroes and showing concept art to simply doing as little marketing as possible days ahead of the actual release doesn't give the impression that there's a lot of resources for marketing this game or passion, because showing off concept art on the game's official Twitter should require no more than a willingness to do so. On the bright side, they could simply be saving their bigger marketing campaigns for something yet to be announced. They still have patrol mode in the pipeline, which is rumored to be a big part of the game's new direction for content, but that remains to be seen. Hopefully the team behind Avengers has a better plan for the game going forward, because despite the game's many flaws and questionable decision making, players are still willing to give the game a chance and are rooting for the studio to turn things around like we've seen for other games. Marketing should start soon for the Winter Soldier and Cloning Lab, so we'll see if things continue to trend in the way we've seen recently, or hopefully they aim to really wow players with a more impressive branding approach than we've seen from them this year. But we'll just have to wait and see. But I'll pass things off to you guys. What do you guys think of the changes we've seen in terms of marketing for the game? And do you think the decline is due in part to budget issues? Let me know down below, and make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe for more Marvel's Avengers content every week. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.